What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Dose with Dylan Davis. I'm your host, Dylan. You can follow me on Twitter at DylanJD98. And back in the passenger seat with me today is my man, Matt McGinty. You can follow him on Twitter at Matt_McGinty. The Daily Dose is brought to you by the Painted Lines Network. So if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. And we have a new sponsor with XL Media. So here's a message from our sponsors. You guys do not want to miss out on this opportunity. It's free money.
Hey, what's up, guys? March Madness is here. The NBA and NHL are both in full swing. Baseball opening day is coming up, while we here at the Painted Lines are devoted to bringing you top-notch content from all the major sports. We are excited to also now give you the opportunity to cash in on all that content and knowledge. If you follow the link below, you will have the opportunity to sign up with BetRivers, an online sportsbook, and get an instant new user deposit match of up to $250. That's free money that you can use and try to turn into more free money. Let's go. Don't sit there and waste all that money. Turn every basket into an otherwise meaningless Cavs-Timberwolves matchup on a random Wednesday in March. That makes it all the more exciting. For betting tips and advice, be sure to check out written content from our top prognosticator, Money Max, on our website at thepaintedlines.com, or check out the Tough Cover podcast right here on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. You've seen the commercials all over TV and radio, but now is the time. Sign up today with BetRivers using the link below and start cashing in on your love for sports. Using the link below will automatically inform BetRivers that TPL sent you, and you'll get that new user deposit match of up to $250. Don't miss out on this opportunity for some free money, baby.
There it is, 100% match up to $250 with BetRivers using that code. So hit the link. It should be in the description here where on YouTube if you guys are watching, or on thepaintedlines.com. So please go check that out. Before we get into today's show, some housekeeping. Yesterday we had Daily Dose Mondays with Scotty. So please go check that out, whether it's on Twitter or the Painted Lines YouTube channel. Great talk with Scotty, and I say that because we only have him on once a week to start every week, and we talked a lot of trade deadline, West Coast road trip for the 76ers, so all relevant stuff that you guys can go see, as me and Gint will dive deeper into that as the week progresses here. I also joined Scotty's NBA Monday show last night, so go check that out on the Heat Ratio Sport Network. You can find them on Twitter. You can find them on YouTube. You can find Scotty on Twitter at Scotty Drown. So go check all that stuff out. So again, let's get into today's show. We got Sixers Warriors tonight at 10 p.m. 3 straight 10 p.m. games followed by a 9 p.m. game. It is going to be a rough week. But I will be up and I will be watching it to break it down for you guys all throughout the week. We're going to overview the West Coast trip a little bit more today. We got some NCAA tourney talk to talk about today because we didn't get into it yesterday with Scotty. And we got the trade deadline quickly approaching. And like I said before, as you guys know, Tyrone Johnson from 97.5 The Fanatic and Sixers Outsiders will be joining us at 7:30 right here, wherever you're watching, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, on the Painted Lines Network, on the Daily Dose, to break down Sixers, Lakers, how Sixers have been performing, trade deadline day. So hopefully a lot of good stuff to talk about with Tyrone. So again, let's get into it. No Joel Embiid, no Steph Curry for the Warriors tonight. You know, it's very hard to break this one down tonight. All I have for you is needs to be a win. I know that sounds a little, aggressive, exaggerated. It needs to be a win. There's no reason you lose to this team. You're a better team even if Steph's on the floor, even if you're without Joel and Seth. No, Steph, this has to be a win. Talk to me about tonight's matchup in the Bay.
Yeah, I don't know if James Wiseman's playing either. I don't know if I heard anything on that. But
I think Pascal's still out.
Well, never mind. It's automatically a win after that. No, but I mean, like you said, we've been talking about this tough road stretch just coming up. It's tough West Coast trip where you play the defending champs regardless of missing guys. You play the Clippers and Denver. So you look at this as a Yeah, we got to get this one. And I know we're hot a little bit. We've won, what did we say yesterday? 8 of our last 10 or 9 of our last 10 or something?
9 of 10, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
because we said we were talking to Scotty. If you beat the Warriors and Lakers, you won 11 of your last 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 10
But
of 11.
like you said, this team wasn't like outstanding with Steph, obviously. So they're going to be undermanned without their best player. I mean, Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre, I don't really see getting this done for them tonight. But for right now, you got to focus on just going 1-0 like we talk about all the time. You need Ben and Tobias to keep the train rolling with no Seth or Joel. So it'll definitely be a good one. We'll get into predictions later, but I don't see why you don't win this one.
Yeah, I'll say this for everyone. It's okay that we have this mindset. The Sixers, however, cannot have our mindset. They can't have, this is a win. Don't walk into the Bay assuming that this is a win. Go play like you're playing the Clippers in a few nights. Go play, blow this team out early, get some good old-fashioned rest or some good old-fashioned load management for Ben and Tobias because they're going to need it on this trip without Joel Embiid. Seth, all I heard was that he's out. I have no idea how soon he will be back or when he'll be returning to the team. But I think he made the trip out there, if I'm correct.
Steph's out. Eric Pascal's out. Oh, no, he's probable to play. And so is James Wiseman. They're both probable to play.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
Now that Pascal's playing, it's over, dude. So, sorry to burst your bubble, man, but I take back everything I said.
No, this needs to be an absolute win. So I want to look at the defensive rankings for a second because I looked up Golden State's defensive performance and what'd you say?
It can't be that good.
Very weird to gauge, Gint. Very weird. I'll tell you why. 20th in points allowed. First of all, they're horrible on the glass. They're 30th in rebounds allowed, 30th in offensive rebounds allowed. They're 28th in defensive rebounds. They do not rebound well at all. But then then they're 20th in 3 points allowed, so bottom third of the league there, 15th in blocks, 15th in opponent 3-point percentage, and then they're 7th in defensive rating. Does that add up at all?
It's because of Draymond, dude. Did you see what he said today?
No. Oh, that he's the best defensive player ever?
Yeah. It's a bold take, dude. I don't know.
I mean, this is also a bold take.
Yeah,
that's a bold take. There's a lot of the white love. What'd you say?
Kind of scares me thinking that's an option.
Yeah. Since All-Star game, the Sixers have been number 1 in defensive rating. They've been the best defensive team since March 1st or whatever it is. So it just help me figure out these numbers, Gint and everyone, because it's not adding up to me. Rebound. Sure, I read you a lot of rebound statistics and points allowed and whatever, but I mean, they're 3rd in turnovers, so they will turn you over. They're 5th in field goals allowed. They're 3rd in opponent 3-point percentage, field goal percentage. They're 9th in steals. They're 9th in assists allowed. So they do some things well, but I feel like for the most part defensively, this Golden State team just isn't up to, my standard of who should slow the Sixers down tonight.
I definitely agree with you. That stat sounds a little skewed. I'm not going to say it looks because it's there. Stats don't lie. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
with the team they have tonight and the personnel they have, it's just not up to par with what we have, in my opinion. Draymond Green's not – I'm a huge Draymond Green fan. I always have been, and I might get a little bit of hate for that, but he plays really hard. But they just don't have the firepower tonight. But knowing our luck, Kelly Oubre is going to have 50 tonight. We'll make 11 threes. So – but no, like I said, I without Steph.
Yes, Steph is out.
So what? Ben's going to get the Andrew Wiggins assignment, I assume. Like
him or Oubre, yeah.
Him getting over 20, unless he shoots 37 shots. So,
yeah. Marky says Sixers are going 3-1 on this West Coast trip. Maybe. And Dive says Dive is already in winning mode. Look, it's okay for Dives and us to have that mindset. The Sixers definitely cannot have that mindset tonight. I want to talk about Tobias Harris with you for a second, Gint, only because, we saw – what do we keep calling it? The Tobias Harris revenge tour since, being snubbed at the All-Star break. And then he beats up on the Knicks and who's his opponent on the Knicks that he's guarding and that's guarding him for majority of the game. Julius Randle, who made the team. If you want to come on and give your Paul Reed info, Justin, you can join us. We're getting into the bracket in a little while. But Tobias Harris, I need a great I don't know a lot about the Blue Coats. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But
I'm not up to par with the Blue Coats. If you want to come drop some facts on our audience, you're welcome to for a few minutes. But speaking of Tobias Harris, I need that revenge tour to keep, going, Gint, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when we say revenge tour, it's not, it's not a weak thing. You know what I mean?
No. And I will say this, and I don't expect Tobias to not have a good game tonight or to not keep that going. What I mean is, look, you drop a bucket on Reggie Bullock's head to win a game, you can, and then you run down the floor and tell everyone you're a mother effing all-star. Yeah, that needs to keep up. You feel me?
Yeah.
You can't have an off game in the Bay tonight.
Yeah, then you have you don't want to become a meme. You know what I mean? Like, remember when the Giants dropped that picture when they were on that boat? And
and then they had
haven't won like 10 games since, so you don't want to turn into that for sure. So this revenge tour,
and I'm not saying he won't. I fully believe he will. He's even the nights we talked about it yesterday. I talked about it with Scotty. The nights that Tobias is struggling, he's still giving you 20 plus. He's contributing a lot better on the defensive side of the floor than I ever thought he would. He's cleaning up the glass more than I ever thought he would. And he's getting his teammates involved more than I thought he would. Here is our man, Justin. You can follow him on Twitter at @J_Persichetti. So, Justin, I do know I'm not very well aware on the Blue Coats, but I do know Paul Reed took home some accolades today. So
just one award possible.
Yeah. So Paul Reed literally won, like you said, literally won. I think every award he possibly could have. I don't know if they have a Defensive Player of the Year in the G League. I'm not sure, but he won G League MVP, G League Rookie of the Year, All NBA G League First Team, All Rookie Team, and All Defensive Team. So,
and Gint still wants Mike Scott on the floor over him.
And I will point out as well, he shot 44% from three, 58% from the field, averaged 22 points, 11 rebounds, or almost 12 rebounds, almost 2 assists with 1.9 and 1.8 blocked as well. He was the only guy in the G League to average 22 points and 12 rebounds, basically. He was the only person he averaged the most double-doubles. He had 12 double-doubles in 15 games. Like, the guy was just out of his mind in the G League.
Let me ask you this, Justin.
Yeah, go ahead.
You think he's ready to play in the NBA?
I think it depends what position you want him to play at.
All right, well, let me ask you, if we're talking, we've been talking about getting a stretch 5 in the market. And if we don't get that stretch 5, could he be that guy?
I think he has potential to be. It's hard
this year.
I would still rather bring in a different, like, legitimate stretch 5, just because Paul's game is not primarily 3-point shooting. His 3-point shot, this is the first year he's averaged that good of a percentage. In college, he was in the mid-30s, I believe. I think he was at that around like 34 to 36% in college. So, like, he's not known as a 3-point shooter. He just definitely showed more consistency from that end. I think what he does give you, if you want him to play that stretch 5 role, is not necessarily as much as the stretch role as it is the good defense. And just, I think he is a good player. Like, I think he's very capable of playing in the NBA right now. I just don't think it's in the role necessarily that the Sixers would need him to play, if that makes sense.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
like it. I don't.
I don't. I will say though, I don't think the answer is Mike Scott, though. I do think you need to bring somebody in. I think I still like Bielitsa. I still like him if that's still possible. I think it's important to get a stretch 5 in there, and all around, if it ends up being Paul, like if they don't feel like they can bring in another guy that's worth it, in my opinion, it's not like that position's really going to get a ton of minutes anyway, if we're honest with each other. So I think he could give you some legitimate minutes there.
So my whole thing is, he would just give you more than Mike Scott's giving you. Mike Scott's just a waste of space on the floor.
He definitely would. I can completely agree with that.
B, I agree. I don't want the answer to have to be him right now. I want a stretch big, a stretch 4, stretch 5 to come in. I think that Morey needs to make a move there. C, I just don't think it happens. So if Morey doesn't make the move, I hate to break it to myself, Mike Scott's playing in the playoff rotation. Because Doc, you're seeing it with Maxey. Maxey's not getting it. Like, Doc isn't going to throw Paul Reed into the rotation in the last 25 games of the season.
Brett would have. Brett absolutely would.
Brett probably would have, yeah.
I will say, I think there is a difference between Maxey and Reed in the sense that Maxey wasn't giving you what you need at that guard spot when you have the other players on the court with you. Like, at the 2-guard spot, which basically he was playing him in the bench rotation for a good bit, was you need a 3-point shooter. And that's just why Korkmaz and Korkmaz, and I can't even think of another. Wow. Korkmaz, Curry, Green, like any of those guys who are 3-point shooters or can hit them at a better rate. That's why those guys are taking that spot. I think Paul has shown enough in the G League, and if he's given a chance in the NBA, can show you he can give you more than Mike Scott can. So I still do think it is a possibility, realistically, if he plays well.
I kind of base
it from Scott.
I just kind of think it's more of a Doc Rivers thing. Doc has been known to not give a lot of run to rookies in his entire career. So that's kind of where I'm basing it. I completely agree. I 100% believe that he would give you a little bit more than Mike Scott is giving you.
I think he'd give you a lot more than Mike Scott's giving you right now. I know that's probably says a lot because he's a G League player, but I really do think that if Paul Reed got minutes over Mike Scott, he'd be giving you a lot more. And to me, it's not even on the offensive side; it's on the defensive side. Mike Scott is a cone out there. People just go right by him. He can't contest shots at the rim.
Don't you smile down there, man.
Paul Reed was averaging 2 steals and 2 blocks, and he also was not only doing that against smaller guards and he was not only doing that on the interior. Like, this guy was getting switched out consistently. He played the 5 for them in the G League, but was getting most of his blocks and his steals were not on like big men down low. Most of them were running in with guards, blocking them off the boards. I'm sure he had some blocks at the rim as well, but a lot of his steals were swiping in the passing lanes and just staying in front of small guards. So I really think that even if he's not giving you the 3-point shooting that Mike Scott already isn't giving you, I do think he can give you a lot more than him in general.
Justin, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because you watched a ton of Blue Coats.
I watched every single game.
That's what I'm saying. You watched the whole G League this year.
Yep.
Let's start with the skill gap. And I'm not degrading Paul Reed's basketball here when I ask this question. Like, I think Paul Reed's going to be a good player in the NBA. I was just saying right now, like I said before, Doc's pedigree has never been a rookie. Like, you listen to Rajon Rondo in that podcast for the season when we were talking about if Tyrese Maxey was going to play. And Rondo didn't even play in his rookie year at the Celtics. So what is the skill gap from an NBA game to a G League game, truthfully? Is it a noticeable difference?
There's definitely a noticeable difference, but to me, it's the noticeable difference is on whether or not people are making shots as consistently. It's not necessarily where they are on the floor, if that makes sense. So, like, when Paul was getting those blocks and Paul was where it was very based on positioning, and like he was always in the right position, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So like that's to me what was impressive. Is that it's not like he was just getting chance blocks or like just because, like I said, he was at the rim at the time and was able to like block a guy who was less athletic than him. Like, he was going up against guys like oh my goodness, Moses. Do you guys recognize that name?
Moses.
No. I can't first. That's his last name. He plays for OKC Blue, and he was one of like the guys coming into the G League this year that they were like he's going to be really good, like 7'2".
You're talking about Moses Brown.
Yes, I am. You're right.
I think it was Oklahoma State.
Yeah, OKC Blue in the G League.
He played for UCLA.
Okay. Well, my point is he was like one of the bona fide big men going into the G League season, and Paul like dominated him on defense. And the guy's 3 or 4 inches taller than him. Like, and then he would also go on defense and guard a point guard who's 5'10" and be able to sink his hips and stay in front of him. David Stockton, which I don't know if he's related to John Stockton, but he looked like he was related to John Stockton. And he played like him a little bit. But basically my point is that David Stockton's 5'10". And he was like Paul got switched out onto him and stayed with him the whole possession. Stockton ran him around the court, like ran in, circled back, and the whole time Paul was able to save him and then ended up blocking his shot.
Yeah,
just impressive.
Stockton's son played at Gonzaga.
Gotcha.
Now let me ask you this. So building off that question, why I asked that question?
Yes.
And this is all hypothetical, so it could not be even a thing. If Mike Scott played in the G League, would he put up? And I'm not saying it would have been the MVP. Would he put up any resemblance of the numbers that Paul Reed just put up?
Personally, I don't think so. Defensively, definitely not. I think there was and this is a lot based off just this season. But the G League was probably better than it's been in a long time this year. Just because there was less teams and they had the draft and everything. So like a lot of the players that were playing down in the G League this year had already played in the NBA already, or were like just really good like draft guys that teams wanted to keep down there to get run. Just like what happened with Isaiah Joe going down and playing for the Blue Coats as well. So you had NBA caliber level, like most, I would say, more than you would have in past years. Even the Blue Coats themselves had 3 or 4 guys in their starting lineup that have previously played in the NBA, and I think 3 or 4 guys that were in their bench unit as well. And that was just the Blue Coats. So it's like, to me, it's not like you're just going up against guys who aren't ever going to make it. Like there's guys that legitimately have a chance, and he was showing out against them.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that point in, just saying that I don't think right now, truthfully right now, if we had a playoff game, I don't think Paul Reed would get the nod before Mike Scott would.
I don't think he would right now either. I don't think he would either. I do think though that given the opportunity and the chance, I think he could make a run for it. I think he could give more than what Mike is now. Now, personally, I don't think Mike is going to be on this team very much longer if a move is made, or at least I don't think Mike's going to be in the rotation much longer. So this could be a completely different conversation. If all of a sudden there is a stretch big that's on this team that's legitimate, Paul's not getting minutes. I can tell you that right now, because they would much rather in that spot have someone who is a legitimate, tested out 3-point shooter going up on that court. But given the opportunity, and if there's no one else that's able to take that role, I could see him having an opportunity. One thing I really wanted to say real quick, Dylan, and the reason why I wanted to come on here, because I was just on a Zoom call with Paul Reed and like the Sixers stuff, and asked Paul Reed about comments that Daryl Morey made about him winning the MVP and winning all these awards. And Daryl had said previously, Paul has proven himself at every level, and I expect the NBA to be next. The G League MVP almost always goes to veteran players with experience as a professional. For him to win it in his rookie season shows the incredible NBA potential he has. So that's what Daryl said about Paul. And Paul's comments to that were pretty much, it feels like, on how he felt about that. He said, it feels good. It shows me he has faith in me, he trusts me, and he sees my potential. And like what I get out of that is like, Paul's already like been beloved by the fan base in a lot of ways. Like you hear B-ball Paul all the time now on Twitter. You see it everywhere. The fact that you now have Daryl Morey backing him and saying that like he expects him to show out in the NBA level, to me, if your GM is giving you like praise like that, like he all Daryl could say is, yeah, he played really well in the G League this year. Yeah, he doesn't have to say, I expect him to do the same thing in the like expect him to show out in the NBA as well. Like to me that's confirms my thoughts on how Paul played, and that it's not just an anomaly in the G League and going up against worse talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Before we get you out of here, Justin, just the last thing I wanted to say on it is, look, I like B-ball Paul, and I think he could be a player soon. I think he would give you more than Mike Scott can give you right now. With that being said, I have high expectations for the Sixers team this year. And I don't want to have to rely on the G League MVP to have to come in and be one of the solutions to one of their issues right now. With all due respect, like, dude, balled out, rookie year, all those accolades that you've listed. I think in time he can become a player. Someone had commented about just needing his body to fill out. I think that's true as well. In this season, although I think he can give you more than Mike Scott can give you, something else has to be made. Another move has to be made. And I think it becomes more evident when I watch Ben Simmons and Dwight Howard play together because, my God, I can't do that much longer because the offense is so damn stagnant and clustered, and it's unbelievable. So, Justin, thank you so much for coming on, man. You follow him on Twitter, everyone, at J_Persichetti. He is in on the Zoom call, so you're getting a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Up close and personal information here from Justin. So thank you so much, man, for coming on.
Appreciate you having me, guys. Have a good show.
Yeah, later, Justin.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the opposite side as you get, and I think he gives you more than Mike Scott. I just don't want the G League MVP to have to be the answer because it's not the answer.
If this was 2015.
Also, something Justin said threw me off because he's correct. But B-Ball Paul already has so much love from this fan base. It scares me. Because this fan base falls in love with players that they fall in love with players that don't turn out to be anything, and because he's ours, they fall in love with I wish people didn't I wish they underrated him. And he was going out doing this stuff in the G League, and people were like, "I would keep him in the G League," and then he balled out. The fact that everyone in the city loves him and he's got a nickname already, and Daryl Morey's talking about him like this, I'm just like, damn, man, that kid. Now he's got to live up to all this when he actually does come up to play. But anyway, yeah. So we were talking about Tobias Harris. Ben Simmons is another guy that clearly has to just step up today. Whether that knee was bothering him in New York, on Sunday, I don't know that answer, but he has to be better with Joel's absence. Toby has to be better in Joel's absence. And then you just have to keep, the 3-point shooters with Seth out have to keep attributing while he's gone. So, again, let's wrap up this Warriors talk. What's your prediction for tonight? Which player stands out the most and brings home a W for the Sixers on the first game of this West Coast stand?
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to score a lot, too. I'm going to go 122 to 109, like a 13-point win. I like Ben. I'm going to take Ben tonight.
Shocker.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't done a prediction in a little bit, but
yeah,
it's my fault. But I'm going to say Ben.
And you guys watching, comment along as well your star of the game and your predictions for tonight's outcome for the Sixers Warriors.
Because I assume that Tobias Draymond will get the assignment of Tobias, and Draymond is their best defensive player essentially.
Yeah.
So I don't see Andrew Wiggins or Kelly Oubre to be able to even kind of stop Ben. So I'm going to go with Ben. I
agree. Nadir says Mike Scott. That is the best comment Nadir's ever had.
Yeah.
I love it. Look, I think this has to be a win. And the theme going into this one is something that you and I have been talking about, and Scotty has been we talked about with Scotty, is the fact that this team is not dropping games that we go into that they shouldn't drop. You know what I'm saying? So they're not dropping games to lesser talented teams, even with the absence of Joel and now the absence of Seth Curry. And they're not only not dropping them, they're blowing out bad teams in their 20s. They blew out the Bulls and the Wizards in a back-to-back by over 20. They beat the Spurs by 32, 35 points. And then they just beat the Kings by 24, 25 points the other night. So they are blowing out bad teams. They're doing it at home. They're doing it on the road. They're doing it undermanned. So can that continue? That's the biggest question. That's what I'm looking for tonight. Not just beating the Warriors. And I'm not saying it's got to be a 48 minutes from tip to final buzzer that they come out and dominate a lesser Warrior team. But it can't be you struggle, Ben and Toby struggle, and you're beating the Warriors tonight like you just had to the Knicks on Sunday. Look, a win is a win. I keep saying that. Without Joel Embiid, any win is going to be a good win. But I need to see, especially to start this tough West Coast stand, this has to be you can't drop this one. You can't. Yeah. And I think that Doc and the coaching staff is going to instill that in them tonight. Like, look, guys, we know what we're up against out here. Let's rack up as many W's as we can. We know that the Nets are 1 game behind us. Pretty sure the Bucks are only a game and a half behind us now. Wins, keep them in our rear view for now. So I'm going to say that the Sixers win. I'm going to say they win handily. And I'm going to go Shake Milton as my star. And I'm going to say that the Sixers win 125-111. I haven't looked at the spread, so I have no idea if that covers or not. It's also on TNT, isn't it?
Yeah, we're on TNT back-to-back games, I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. Good stuff. So, yeah, Sixers win tonight big, in my opinion. Shake Milton's my star of the game. Ben Simmons is Gintz. And let's just hope that this West Coast stand starts off strong again, because me and you have been examining it for over a week now. And how can they continue to stay afloat without Joel Embiid? Well, tonight's the start of this. So let's have a more, serious but fun conversation regarding the Sixers and the NBA as a whole. So the trade deadline is quickly approaching.
2 days.
March 25th. Yup, Thursday. Do we know what time is it? Like 4 p.m. or something like that?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay. So midday on Thursday is the NBA trade deadline. Now, obviously, the buyout market will still be an option for the Sixers to make a move or moves, but obviously we're all waiting for Daryl Morey to pull the trigger on something by Thursday at 3 p.m. So my question to everyone, and Mark, I know I've had a lot of discussions with him, so have you. I've seen people on Twitter that – what'd you say?
Mr. Not Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Which if you're not in on Kyle Lowry, that's fine. If you're not in on the player, we can agree to disagree on the type of player Kyle Lowry is and the impact he would have. I want to talk about what the Sixers have to part ways with and why people have issues with it. So my question of the day for everyone watching, and comment as much as you guys want and join our conversation here, is like, you guys want to win a championship, or do you just want to be relevant for the next couple of seasons, couple of years? Like, that's my question. So the window is clearly open. The championship window is open. When Joel comes back, he's open to winning now, right? Tobias, Ben. So I have a few points for this, and then I'll throw this to you. I am sick and tired of fans in this town and people telling me that they don't want to mortgage the future for a Kyle Lowry. If you don't like Kyle Lowry, that's fine. We have a difference of opinion there. But we need to get on the same page with what mortgaging the future is. Okay? Let's start with first round picks. It sounds bigger and more important than what it actually is. Because where do you guys expect and see the Sixers picking in this year's first round and in 2022's first round? The bottom of the order, right, Gint?
High 20s, low 30s.
Right. Either winning a champion, 30th, 29th, 28th, 27th, around there, correct? So that first round pick is irrelevant. Like, it's irrelevant to me. I'm sorry. It is. You can clump it up there with second rounders at that when you get to that point, okay? I'm sorry. I'm just not that guy. So if they want 2 first, we have a difference of opinion in mortgaging the future when it comes to first round picks now, okay? Second round picks, I quite frankly don't give a damn about. I know a lot of people care, and you can find a diamond in the rough here and there. I get it. I don't give a damn about second round picks. And then the final piece when it comes to mortgaging the future is one of the young guys off the bench, aka more likely Tyrese Maxey. My issue with this is that the evolution of Tyrese Maxey in 2 to 3 years down the line should not be the reason you're holding back on going all in for a championship when you have an opportunity to win one. This is why you play, correct, Gint? To win a damn championship. So I'm not worried about Tyrese Maxey 3 years down the line. Secondly, where is Tyrese Maxey's fit in with this team. Ben Simmons is 24 years old. He's your point guard. Shake Milton's around the same age. He's the backup point guard. So where exactly does young Tyrese Maxey come into play as this team's future point guard a couple years down the line? Stop it. I'm literally tired of hearing that it's mortgaging the future. Do you want to win? And my last point, again, I said this to you before the show. Let's say it fails this year. Let's say you give Toronto, Justin has it here, and this is what I saw earlier. Toronto's asking for a 2 firsts, a second, and 2 players. Let's just assume one of them's Tyrese Maxey. Let's assume one of them's Danny Green. We probably have to give up more players because of the salary, right? Okay. Let's say that's the case. Let's say it doesn't work. You don't win the championship this year. Kyle Lowry leaves. He goes to Miami next year. You still mortgage the future? Because I'm pretty sure you still have Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry on a cheap deal, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle. You mortgaged your future. Am I missing something? I'm being serious. I'm like, it's pissing me off. Am I missing something here?
No, I agree.
You think it's not going to be an attractive place for other free agents to come?
I agree.
I'm sorry. We gave up the 29th pick, the 30th pick, the 28th pick, the 27th pick for the next 2 years, and we gave up Tyrese Maxey. Oh, man, we gave up our future, dude. Stop it. Go ahead.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
No, because we think very similar in the situation. I just don't know why. Like, again, I always bring this up. I don't know why, but like when you bring up the process, everything was about the future, and it was we want to be good. We want to be good for a long time, which we have been good. We've been good for the last what?
And hold on, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but why would you do this? Seth Curry's under contract for the next 2 years at like $8 million. Danny Green's off the so like that's mortgaging. That's more mortgaging the future. Like, like go ahead.
So teams just aren't title contenders for the next. You don't contend for titles for 7 years unless you're a dynasty. It just doesn't happen. Right. It just physically can't happen. Teams. And I know it's a lot of people's favorite player of all time. He's the greatest of all time. Probably why LeBron hops around here to here to there to there to there. Sure. You have to be in a good situation. You look at Golden State. Golden State went from the top of the food chain to the bottom of the food chain in 1 year. You don't just when you're trying to win titles, you give up everything. Remember when Cleveland was on their run, dude? They were trying to scrap Darren Williams at the buyout deadline. Like, you have to do anything you can to get there, in my opinion.
Guys leave. Guys get hurt. Like, your window is now. And here's my point. And look, I'm not knock on wood, dude, okay? I hope the guy can play for 8-9 more years. Realistically, how long has Joel Embiid had to be dominant? With his body, his size, his injury history?
Probably at most, and like you said, knock on wood, probably like what? At most 5 years? Like at most.
Okay, so we're gonna waste 3 of them holding on to Tyrese Maxey because he could be something. Like I said, guys leave. Like, guys get hurt, and I gotta read this. But the worst thing to do is trade late first round picks with the thought that it's irrelevant. It is irrelevant. What does the 28th, 29th pick do for you? Are you trying to win a championship or not? And again, I said this is my main point. If you missed this. If you don't do it for Kyle Lowry because you don't like Kyle Lowry, that's fine. We just have difference of opinion there. That's fine. But when I'm talking, in my mind, it moves a needle to win a championship now. So no, I don't care about the late first round pick this year and in 2022. If you won't do it for Kyle Lowry, but you'll do it for someone else, free, that's fine with me also. But to hold on to a late first round pick, like to not take a shot at a championship, I don't get. I really don't. I don't get it.
None of them have won.
They haven't won. Toronto won. Toronto won one because Kawhi was. First of all, let's not also like act like they didn't luck into a championship because KD and Clay.
And they also won on a 1 year rental. They won on a rental. They took their chance.
Yes, they won on a 1 year rental. Denver hasn't won anything. This is my whole basis of my statement was: do you want to win a championship or do you want to be relevant for years? Denver's relevant. They're not winning a championship. They haven't won a championship yet. And I talked about this with Scotty last night on his show. A couple years from now, again, guess what? Jamal Murray and Jokic probably getting broken up if they don't get over the hump soon. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert probably getting broken up if they don't get over the hump soon. Correct or incorrect?
I mean,
So Mark. We're talking Phillies today, so you can come on and it's all fun to have these conversations. But that was you're making my point that I'm trying to get across to everyone. Denver is just relevant. They haven't won a championship. That's my point. Okay, and I'm not keeping 27 plus for the chance to draft a guy like that. It's a chance. It's not given that you get a guy there. That's my whole point. We're not giving up a top 10, a lottery pick here in the first round. We're not giving up a top 20 pick. You're giving up a bottom of the order. That's fine. Yeah. So he said he'd do it for Beal or Levine. He wouldn't do it for Lowry. If we have a difference in opinion of who you do it for, that's okay. What I'm saying is for the people that just don't want to, quote, mortgage the future to win, that's what I'm not understanding. Not you because of not wanting Lowry. There's people out there that just don't want to give up these young guys or draft picks. Do you want to win or not? Man, I have more gray hairs now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand we're not going to get on the same page. He's thoroughly against Kyle Lowry. He's
I have no issue. This is my point here with this conversation. I have no issue. I think Kyle Lowry moves the needle. You do also. They don't. Some people don't. That I don't have an issue with who does it.
Then they lost Kawhi and they haven't won since. I don't understand what that means.
No, Mark. They didn't win because those guys were drafted in the 20s. They won because of Kawhi Leonard was a freaking robot for one season.
They had Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green to trade for DeMar DeRozan.
Mark, how's Pascal, Powell, OG, and Van Vliet doing this year?
OG didn't even play that season. He tore his ACL, didn't he?
I think so. But my point is, how are they doing this year? Right? That's not why they won. They won because Kawhi Leonard was a one-year rental and was a freaking robot, and they had some luck along the way. That's why Toronto won. The other team, Denver hasn't won. I don't want to be the Denver Nuggets. I'm sorry if that's wrong for me to say. I know they're a good team in the Western Conference. I want to be a champion. I want to win a championship. Okay? I want to party on Broad Street with everybody. I don't want to be the Denver Nuggets and just be appearing in an Eastern Conference final. I know they're in the Eastern Conference final here and there. That's my point. And if it's not for Kyle Lowry because you don't like Kyle Lowry, fair. If you do it for someone else. I'm talking about the basis of what these draft picks are. And those guys, I'm sorry, don't help your fight.
I'm trying to find
Siakam, Powell, Van Vliet, they won with Kawhi Leonard that year. He left. They haven't won shit since. I know it's only been 2 years, but they haven't won, and they're irrelevant this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. First of all, they're getting rid of Powell. That's one of the guys you listed. He's gone. So I'm just confused. Why? I don't want to be relevant, dude.
Yeah.
I know I keep repeating myself. I can't do it. What's going on, Gint? You all right?
Sorry, I was reading that Lonzo Ball comment. They were the 2 seed last year, and didn't they get taken to 7 games in the first round? Or no, they got taken to 7 games?
The Knicks, yeah. The Knicks, without anyone they have now, took them to
wait. Who did the Raptors
the Nets?
play?
The Nets. I'm sorry, the Nets.
I forget, but I mean, it's such an irrelevant to have because you're never going to get around to it. It's never going to stick. It's a difference of who you think is a needle mover and who isn't. So he doesn't think Lowry's a needle mover. I understand.
That's okay.
But I don't understand it at the same time.
Marky says, would you throw Shake in the deal for Powell? Probably not.
No,
I would if you can.
Yeah. They played Brooklyn in the first round last year, and they lost to Boston in 7.
So they lost in the second round.
Yeah,
and now they're not even going to make the playoffs. So no, Like they did what you don't want to do. They added a 1-year rental in Kawhi. They won, and now they're struggling it 2 years later. But guess what? I'm sure those guys in Toronto love their championship.
Oh yeah, they'll never forget that. And you know who the best player for the Raptors was? In that
I didn't say they don't get credit like I credit Kyle Lowry. They're not the reason. You said they're the reason. I believe. Let me recheck.
I'm going to say that OG Anunoby had no.
He said they won because blank were drafted in the 20s. No, they won because of Kawhi Leonard, and those guys were a supporting cast. Yeah,
I don't know why is OG Anunoby being brought up. He didn't play in that finals.
Look, I'm not saying the Sixers don't have a chance to win. You're not going to find a person high. Ask my co-host right here. Will you find a person higher on the Sixers team than me? No. So I think they could win a championship how they are. My thing is, I wouldn't bet a lot of money on it with this bench unit because of the chemistry. If you can add a player like that caliber, yeah, you do it. And what chemistry are you disrupting? Danny Green be gone. I like Danny Green more than a lot of Sixers fans out there. But that's all you're giving up. Maxey doesn't play. If Mike Scott's in there, who cares? You're giving up draft pick compensation. So you'd be giving up Danny Green in place of Kyle Lowry.
Lowry in the playoffs last year averaged 21, 7, and 7.
Oh, when he was 34 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
I mean, it was the bubble, but 21, 7, and 7.
I'm just saying. And again, if you don't want Lowry, I mean, I disagree, but okay. My whole basis of this whole discussion was for the people that don't want to give up Maxey or don't want to give up first-round picks because they're first-round picks to win a championship, regardless of who you're shipping them for. That's my point. He said Anunoby played that entire season, but I'm pretty sure I'm with you, Gint. Didn't he get it? He went down.
Maybe he did. There's a 100% chance I could be wrong, but I don't know why I thought that was the year he tore his ACL.
Yeah. Lowry pre-Kawhi was awful in the playoffs. Well, when he was with DeMar DeRozan and they were the 1 seed every year and had a.
Anunoby didn't play against the Warriors. That's not true.
Yeah.
I'm in the box score right now.
He was also a net negative this year and last year for the Raptors. Dude, we can disagree all day. Who's up right now, Justin?
These are Kawhi Leonard's playoff stats, by the way, when he played for the Raptors in each series. I just want you to look at them real quick.
Thank you.
He came in, dropped the share screen. That's so good.
Hold on. I got to get the points. Where the points? 25, 37, 16, 34, 27, 45, 35, 33, 39, 21, 29, 41, 31, 31, 18, 19, 35, 27, 23, 34, 30, 16, 26. Justin, thank you. That is the reason the Raptors. This is way off topic of my point. I don't know why we're talking about the Raptors.
We wanted to highlight all the new names that came out today.
Damn it.
I just felt like there was a lot of arguments going on about Kawhi Leonard and if he was playing well and who really like Kawhi Leonard carried that team.
No. OG Anunoby played 67 games, averaged 7 points a game. Please stop with
this. Isn't even my point. Why are we on Toronto? Mark got me so sidetracked. Damn it, Mark. This isn't what I'm talking about. Yeah, get your ass in here.
Who is it?
It's Mark. Oh, come back in. Yeah. Yeah.
How about hey Justin, pull up Fred VanVleet's numbers in the finals, huh? After he became a dad, please. Pull up Fred VanVleet. Where do they take Fred VanVleet in the draft?
Where's Fred? Dude, that is so
Justin, can you find VanVleet's numbers? That's not Mark. You're missing the point here. My basis was if you don't want Lowry, okay, then you don't give him up. My whole point was, do you want to win to people or not? I'm not valuing the 29th pick in the draft simply because I don't want to give it up to try to get a needle mover.
If we trade Danny Green for Kyle Lowry, our team is worse. Just flat out, our team is worse. We add a 6-foot guy for one of the only wings on our roster that can defend anybody. Are we adding a wing if we trade Kyle Lowry for Danny Green?
Well,
even worse if we throw Matisse in. If we throw Matisse in with Danny Green,
I'm not throwing
Matisse in.
I'm not throwing Matisse in. I'm throwing Tyrese Maxey. And here's my answer. Hold on. This is my solution if I'm Doc Rivers. If that trade goes through, my starting lineup would become Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. Seth Curry gets moved to the bench. There's some of your shooting and scoring off the bench paired with Shake Milton. I know you're bringing Thybulle's defense into the starting lineup, but you have all the offense you need there, and then scoring goes on the bench. That's my solution.
Tobias Harris. This year we've all praised him. I see your hand raised. I have something to say.
Real quick. What year for Fred VanVleet? What year?
The finals.
What 2018?
Was that 2019 or 2018?
Oh, 2019, I think. 2018.
Oh, my bad.
I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Mark, we have a show to do in 10 minutes.
And I'll tell you what, Reese Hoskins is not hitting foot. No, I can't get quite as fired up about the Phillies. But no, I'll jump out of here so you guys can finish it off.
Nah, you're good, man.
All right, so Lauri Markkanen, right? That's the next one on the list, right?
Yeah, sign me the hell up. Give me my stretch big.
Let's just throw a couple more names out there, obviously. So we saw Markkanen was brought up today. We saw Malcolm Brogdon was.
These are VanVleet's numbers?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding?
Oh, my God.
14, 2, 4, 9, 7, 3, 0. The finals?
The finals all the way at the bottom? I can't even read that, bro.
Yes. Philly, Milwaukee, Golden State. Yes.
All the way down to the bottom. 15, 17, 11, 8, 12, 22.
He had a nice final series. In the playoffs, he was garbage.
How about the last 3 games against Milwaukee when they were down 3-1?
Hold on. Wait,
13, 21, 14. He's efficient in all of these games.
13 and 14 points? That's what you're throwing in my face?
You guys are acting like Kawhi Leonard won a title alone, but then when it comes to Kyle Lowry gets all the credit for being a great player on that team. Pascal Siakam doesn't. Fred VanVleet doesn't.
No, I think so.
You guys not remember the memes about Fred VanVleet after he was a dad? That year he was dropping dimes in the clutch the entire time in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals.
Listen, they all get credit for a championship. The reason they won, though, the driving motor behind it, is Kawhi Leonard.
But if they sold they didn't win a title with DeMar DeRozan. I of course am acknowledging that the difference between DeMar DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard is massive.
Did Fred VanVleet even play against us?
No, Fred VanVleet was terrible against us. Terrible. That's not even stats down. He was terrible. Once he had a kid, he was fixed. I think it was in the middle of the Eastern Conference Finals.
He was fixed.
He was. It was crazy. He had dad strength. Once he had a kid.
Do you guys want now Kyle Lowry's numbers?
Yes. He was good. He was good. How about you do the numbers for Kyle Lowry in the playoffs before Kawhi Leonard? If we're saying that Kawhi Leonard's the only reason we want that if they won, it doesn't extend to Kyle Lowry because what did Kyle Lowry do in the playoffs before that?
Here's Kyle Lowry's final stats for that year as well.
Whoa!
And then do the year before. How about the year before when he got 2 points in a playoff game?
I mean, he had 0 points in the first playoff game against Orlando.
He said,
that was funny too.
Oh man, wow.
That was also 3 years ago, but
last year he averaged. What do you average?
He's still good statistically. It's crazy that Toronto is massively worse when he's on the court. I don't know what that is, but it's over a 2-year span.
Yeah.
So Fred VanVleet is a plus 14 right now, I believe. So they're staggering VanVleet and Lowry. And the minutes that VanVleet's in the game, they're absolutely killing it. And the minutes that Lowry's in the game, they're killing it. I will say I'm a Norm Powell guy. His on-off numbers are concerning a little bit.
He has been unbelievable. He's averaging 30 points a game this month, isn't he?
Yeah. Since they put him in the starting lineup the last 27 games, he's averaging 24 per game on. I forget the numbers, but it's like 53, 44, 88. Yeah, they don't want to pay him apparently. I don't pay him.
So to wrap up the show, because me and Mark have to get on the tough cover.
There's no rush.
My whole point was let's put Kyle Lowry the hell to the side. My whole point was about the topic of mortgaging people's thoughts on mortgaging the future to win a championship and what these first round picks really are. They're not lottery picks. They're not top 10. They're not top half of the draft. They're not top 20. I am selling the 29th pick, 28th pick, 27th pick, whatever we think it's going to be, to try to win a championship. That's flat out what I'm doing. I get you can find guys down in the draft high. I get it.
So I don't have a problem with that. But to say they're irrelevant or without value is where I have a problem.
I said second round picks are irrelevant to me.
So if you win,
okay, I can kind of agree with that.
If you win this year, is the 30th pick irrelevant?
Of course, I agree with that. But no matter what trade we make, no matter what, even if we got Zach LaVine, who I love, even if the Bulls threw Zach LaVine, which isn't happening, with Luke Cornett and Thad Young, like we could get like a lot of pieces that could help us. Even if that happens, what are we increasing our odds to? Maybe the fourth or fifth overall, third overall, maybe. Wait, we're gonna have like a 15. Yeah. Are we gonna jump above the Nets or Lakers?
Wait, if you're saying we keep Ben, Tobias, Joel, and Zach LaVine, we'd be the favorite to win the
And
NBA.
by the way, I would feel more confident. I would feel very confident. But in terms of the betting odds and the gambling odds, I don't think we. I think the Nets and Lakers would stay first and second still. I think that they have a pretty sizable gap between the second and third right now. With I think Milwaukee's third, I believe. I haven't checked it in a day or two, but I just think. But my point is, I'm willing to give up, assets for something that would increase our championship window right now hugely, like a Levine or like a Beal or like a. I like Markkanen a lot. I don't know how much I'd give up for Markkanen, but I'm totally down. But if you do that, you cashed in your chips. Next year, if this doesn't work out this year. Okay, listen, hold on. But next year, if this doesn't work out, we go for Kyle Lowry, and then next year Zach LaVine becomes available because the Bulls start 10-25, and we don't have those 2 first-round picks to trade for him and to throw him in there. The Heat will have a better package. Someone will have a better package. The Celtics, without 2 first-round picks and Tyrese Maxey, our ability to go get a Beal or a LaVine or someone that will come available will disappear into thin air.
So you're playing the if on if a team that has shown no.
No, but that's just part of it.
But
that's just part of it. My point is, you don't cash your chips in unless you're 1,000% sure that that's the move, like Toronto was with Kawhi Leonard.
All right.
Kevin O'Connor just said Matisse Thybulle was more likely to be traded than Maxey for Kyle Lowry. March.
I have been saying that for the past 3 weeks, by the way.
I don't like that.
Oh my God.
He comes in, disappears. All right. That's it for today's episode of the Daily Dose.
That was all over the place, man.
Yeah. Kind of on topic here. Yeah. Mark's out of here. I love that he jumped in. For myself, you can follow me on Twitter at DylanJD98. Follow Ginn on Twitter at Matt_McGinty.
Teddy, you like the process too. Sorry.
We have 2 more days. Or no, one more show before the deadline, and then Thursday Tyrone will be on with us. Yeah, Teddy definitely likes the process. Someone asked about Rondo too. No, I'm good.
Yeah, Rich on Rondo.
Yeah. So everyone have a nice night. Go Sixers. Hopefully everyone can stay awake for this West Coast trip. I know I will be, and we'll be back here at 4 p.m. tomorrow night, live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, wherever you're watching right now. Have a nice night.